Hello everyone. In this video, I will start for the introduction regarding the improving application security in case when you already have your code. Maybe like you have the legacy application that you need to maintain right now, and you need to improve the security of that application. So it can be like the web application or the another application actually. But in this case, let's assume that the application that you already have the code is actually the web application. So I won't talk about like how we do the secure SDLC, like how we do the programming, how we do the coding, but then I assume that you already have the code, and I want to share like how we can improve the security of your code or your application. Okay, so that's the topic of this video. In another video later we can talk about more details for each step, so we can have some proof of concept or some demo for each step, but for now it will be like general video with some demo for a one or two like solution. Okay, so let's start how to improve the application security when you have the code already or have the legacy application. So the first thing that we can do is actually by using something called the SAST. So SAST means like static application security testing. In this step actually we have the code already and we have access to the code. So sometimes it's also referred as the white box testing, means we have the code, we can able to check whatever the code do and something like that. So in this SaaS step actually we check everything. We check whether there is a logic that flow, we check some the input, whether the input is not sanitized enough or something like that. So basically we check everything based on the code. So the application actually is still not running at the time, so basically only based on the code itself, so we can check, like I mentioned, whether the if condition is correct or not, whether we have something that we can improve, or even some vulnerability because of the way we do some logic in the code itself. So here are the things. So this step or this stage is called the SAST. Fortunately, there are several solutions that we can use freely actually for the SaaS. So if you are using the Python, you can use something called the Bandit library, or even if you're using the Bitbucket or GitHub, there are solutions. Also, if you are using the GitLab itself, you can also use the SaaS. Okay, so by default, it will be available, I think, in your like Altair. If you are using the gitlab.com, it will be available at the end of the a SaaS process. Actually you will show the result, so you can like expect whether your code has some potential vulnerability with some level like the critical, high, medium, or even low, and you can like go to the details what actually the issue are, and then after that you can triage for each of the issue whether you need to fix that or you can leave it at it is right now. Okay, so that's what we call about the SaaS, static application security testing. Okay, so we only based on the code itself. Application doesn't running right now, so only it is only like for the code. So once you already have this step, actually you can like make sure that everything is work perfectly and you don't have any issue that uh, reported after the SaaS are done. If you have that already and you maybe like I mean like you already feels like okay it is good enough, then you can move to another stage. In this case is the DAST. In this case is a dynamic application security testing. So differ with the previous one, actually for this part we assume that the code that you already have will be running in the real time. Means like if you have the code in the Laravel for the web application or in the Spring Boot or even in the Flash, so basically your code will be running first before we can do the dynamic application security testing. Because in this step actually we refer to as the black box testing. So we don't have access to the code. What we have access is the application itself, the one that already running. So what we can do is like we will try to use the application. We can give some input and we can expect the output. So it is like if you have term like penetration testing tool, so it will be used in this step. Okay, so you need to have your application running first, and then you can use some tools to check your application whether your application is secure or not for certain vulnerability. So let's say the tools will checking whether your application is vulnerable to the injection, to the broken authentication, the XSR, Traversal, or anything of it. Okay, Again, fortunately, there are several tools that free and open to use. One of them, my favorite, is actually ZAProxy. So you can install this work on the Linux, on the Windows. So you can just download and try this. So using this, once you have your application running, in this case it's the web application, so you will have your URL, okay, and then you can like for the first time, I just suggest you to you just install this and then you input your URL in the UI and then start the scan. Okay, so this is the UI of the first opening the application. You can use the automated scan and then you put your URL there and start the attack, and it will show some report. Only after that you can see some alert, whether it is high, medium, low, informative, or even like false positive. You can try and you can check each of them, and then you can decide whether the report is good or not, whether you need to fix that right now or you need to, I mean, like you can pending or delay the fix to be in the next release or something like that. It's depend on your decision. But the thing is, we need to aware that we have some issue in our application by running both in the SAS or even DAST. So we check the code with some tools and we also check the application with another tools. So and the purpose is different, but the goal is same, to make the application is more secure. Okay, so this is actually the bridging video for the next several video that we can talk later how we do the SAS and how we do the DAST in the practical way. Okay, so that's the first two tips that we can do to improve the security of our application. And the third is actually to securing our dependency. So let's say I mentioned like, okay, maybe we are using the web application. Let's say we are using the Laravel or Flash or anything like that, and then we are deploying our application still in the traditional way. We are using the VPS, and then we are installing it on top of the Ubuntu, and then we are using the Apache or Nginx, many things. So basically, is we are not only need to secure our application itself, but also we need to ensure the environment is also secure. So how we can do that? So we need to make sure that the version of the application or the packages or system that we are using actually not vulnerable to certain vulnerability. So usually we just need to update to the latest, but sometimes we forget to do that because we are not aware that there is some vulnerability for our product or our system. So in this case, in the third part or in the third step, I built this CVE watch. This is a tool that can help you to get notification in the hourly basis whenever there is a vulnerability for the certain product that you watch or you monitor. So let's say I using the Nginx or I using the you call it like Apache or even Ubuntu, then I can get notification whenever there is a new CVE. So this is the kind tool for the monitoring and notification, so I don't miss anything, so I can be aware and then next to upgrade the things or the library or the dependency that I am using to deliver my application. So the first thing is you can go to this Telegram bot. This called the CVE watch bot, and you can start the conversation and you can type login. Okay, and you will get the link for the login to the web application to the CVE watch. It is in the cvewatch.aria.id, and you can log in and you can start. So basically it has the vendor and it has the product. So basically one vendor can has multiple products, so you can decide whether you want to monitor a certain vendor or certain product. So like I mentioned, let's say I have the okay, let's say I in the Laravel I also use the MySQL for the database, then I can do the monitoring for the MySQL. Okay, it's simple. And then also I want to monitor the, let's say, the Nginx. Okay, see, simple. So now I already have two products that watch under my radar. Okay, so by default, since I log in using the Telegram, I will get notified in the Telegram, but I also can do the configuration to set the notification to be a webhook. So instead of receiving the Telegram chat, I can send the post request to certain URL or certain API. So only after that I can do anything that I want. But now let's keep it like using the Telegram notification. Okay, so this is how we add the product to be in the watch list, and then after that we can expect something like this if there is some CFE detected. So you can see here is I last time I do the watch for the Microsoft vendor, and I got some CVE information whenever there is a CVE added in the database, and we check whether the CVE is actually already notified to me or not. But if it is not, then I will get the information. So this is the thing. So by using this means or using this tool, the cvewatch.aria.id, we can help to ensure that you are aware that your dependency is having or not having the CVE. At least since you are subscribing to the system and you are watching your dependency. Okay, the goal is same. We want to make the application is secure, so we don't have any issue with the vulnerability. Okay, so this video is for the bridging. For the next several video, later we will talk again about the SAST. We will talk a bit about this DAST and anything. But this is also like the introduction. If you want to ask more about how we can do the improvement for our application security, just drop your comment in the comment section. Okay, and yeah, that's all for now, and see you in the next video.